Hello, welcome back to the Dixie Belle YouTube channel. I'm Connie from Faff Designs and I'm one of your Dixie Belle brand ambassadors. In the video today, I'm going to show you a brand new transfer design that I'm going to be putting on these drawers behind. I've already done the prep work, so that's out of the way and done with. So I'm going to get straight ahead and put some colour on them. I just thought I'd show you what these started out like because they did need a little bit of prep work because they had a little bit of flaking veneer on the top there, and as you can see they were quite dirty as well. They also had a little bit of uneven trim at the very bottom there, so I just decided to cut that off. And then I cleaned them and gave them a scuff sand. The colour that I'm going to use is called Tidal from Silk Mineral Paint, and the reason that I'm painting it straight on without a primer is because this paint has a built-in stain blocking primer. It also has a built-in top coat, so I can just paint this and I don't need to prime and I don't need to top coat separately. I wanted to give a little bit of contrast to the drawer fronts, so I sanded them back to bare wood, and then I'm going to do a colour wash on them, which is going to help neutralise the orange tones. And you can do a colour wash with any colour you like. I'm using the same colour that I used on the rest of the drawers, which is Tidal, and that's just going to help neutralise the orange tones in the wood. So I watered down my paint, roughly 50-50 mixture, and then before it's had a chance to dry on the drawer fronts, I'm just going to wipe it back with a rag, and that way you get a little hint of the colour, but you also see the wood grain that's visible through it as well. If you do use silk mineral paint for a wash like I've done, it is worth noting that you will need to add a top coat over it because the built-in top coat will be diluted down and won't be as effective. The transfer that I'm going to use is brand new from Dixie Belle Paint. It's called Kaleidoscope and it's a 4-sheet design which you can layer and chop up and create your own design from. As I mentioned, this is a really versatile transfer. You can chop it up and use it on lots of different projects. This transfer is actually 4 sheets, like I mentioned, and I'm not going to use all 4 on this piece, so I will have some left over for another project. I'm going to start off by cutting up one of the circular pieces and applying it in the corner so that you get the impression that the pattern is kind of randomised over the 2 bottom drawers. So all you do is, once you've decided on the area that you want to put the transfer on, peel the backing off and apply it with the transfer face up, and then just use the stick that you get in the pack to apply the transfer from the plastic onto your furniture. When you've rubbed that transfer down with the stick, start to lift the plastic up in one corner. I like to work from side to side, and I always start with the edges first to make sure they're really stuck down, because obviously this is going over the lip of the edge of the drawer. And just really start to lift the plastic up in kind of peel it off really gently, and you'll see that the transfer has been transferred, operative word there, from the plastic onto your furniture. Once the plastic backing has completely come away, I just like to rub my finger over the transfer to make sure that it's all stuck down on the surface of the furniture. And then if it has gone over the corner, I just like to run my finger around that. I'm going to trim it down with sandpaper later on. So there's 2 circular designs in this transfer, and I'm going to keep this one as a complete design on the front of the drawers, kind of off centre, and it's basically going to span over 2 drawers. So I've chopped it up and I've also used painter's tape to hold it in position until I'm ready to apply it. I also use any leftover pieces to kind of complete the pattern and just add a little bit of that kind of circular design in the corners, just so that it looks like a really randomised pattern across the 2 bottom drawers. So there's also a sheet of continuous kind of pattern as well, which is the bit that I'm going to use on the top drawer. This is actually my favourite part of the transfer. Exactly the same way. Again, I'm going to apply it in the same way. If you do have any kind of excess hanging over the edge, sometimes it's easier to trim that down so that it's not kind of flapping all over the place. And that's just going to complete my design. Once you've applied your transfer, it is recommended that you seal them for durability and protection. So I'm using clear coat in flat, and I'm just applying it with a foam and dandy brush, and I did 2 coats of this in total. Once it was dry, I just sanded any edges down to give me a nice neat line where the transfer had slightly overlapped the edges of the drawers. Here's a couple of close-ups of the finished piece, and you can just see the detail on this transfer is super cute. I think it would work with so many different colours and styles as well, but I really like it over this kind of washed wood look. I think it just sets the transfer off really pretty. And here's the finished piece. As always, thank you for watching and tuning into the Dixie Belle YouTube channel today. If you did want to get your hands on any of the products that I've used in the video, make sure you head over to your local Dixie Belle retailer, and I will catch you next time. Bye!